All right, everyone. Currently sitting here with 20 minutes to the bell. Today is Friday. All right. We don't have much on the economic calendar today. There might be a Fed speaker or two, but we've seen that all year. I mean, all week. There's nothing much more that can really be said. So I'm not really worried about that at all. All I'm worried about is the way that the charts look and, taking advantage if the opportunity presents itself to get into some, low risk, high return type of trades. So I'm currently in an mRNA call, and I'll get into, the reasoning behind that and why I was swinging that into today. Bought it at the close. And what I also did was on NVIDIA, I had that yesterday, had bought that at the close for a put and made a decent amount on that, probably about 30 or 40% on the contract. So yesterday wasn't a bad day, but I ended up giving back half of my gains, which I don't like. Trading a momentum stock. Now, what we're seeing this morning, I got to jump on this right now. What we're seeing this morning on GNS is a beautiful continuation move from yesterday. I'm just going to link these up here. Take a look at that chart from yesterday. Sub $1 to now over $5. Everyone is trading this stock right now. Look at the volume. 42 million shares. 42 million shares. And the market has not even opened yet. This is what we used to see back in 2020, back in 2021, was huge amount of volume in the pre-market with a gapper up 143%. The day before, trading at less than $1. I mean, these moves and the momentum is very good. So we got to be happy about that. Very happy about that. Even though, you can see here, I have my coat on. I had just came back from bringing my kids and getting them ready for school, bringing them out to the bus, waiting out there. And it's pretty cold up here in the Northeast, but not terrible. It's not a terrible day. The winter hasn't been that bad. But it's hard for me to focus on this when I'm not here, right? So obviously this was a nice move, but I missed it. It is what it is. Earlier in the morning, I was able to alert our Discord in our call outs section. So anytime I see something that's popping up on the Gap scanner, I will put that in our Discord, that call out only channel. And this one is just, it's been nice. It's been really good to see. I love trading momentum stocks. These are what give you the cleanest trades. You're not trading against, those algos or those other professional traders. You're trading against your peers, amateur traders, retail traders. Learn the strategies so that you can beat them, so that you can squeeze those that are shorting. Now, this is very extended, extremely extended right now. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I would usually like to wait for these while they're that vertical to pull on back a little bit. This thing hasn't even come close to testing VWAP. So what this is going to be, probably going into the open, this is going to be a short candidate, right? To get that move back down to VWAP. And that's when things will be covered, and you can probably get a bounce there during the day at some point. But yeah, seeing a really good move here on it. So that's definitely nice to see. And like I said, there's nothing much going on with the economic calendar. Excuse me. So what I'm thinking today is, there's a possibility that we can see in the overall market. I'll just go to that now. Taking a look at the SPY. This is the daily chart on the SPY. So, obviously, you guys all know, if you've been watching the channel, if you've been trading for a while, we've seen that rejection there at the trend line and at the 400 level. Nothing new right here. Saw the sell-off. Now, what's very bearish about this is that we're now back under the 200 and we're back under the 50. That's not great for the market, for the bulls. You're going to want to stay over these indicators. Now, what I have noticed on the daily chart, these indicators are finally getting closer together. The 200 moving average should be under the 50. All right, not over the 50. You can see back here in 2022 in March, that's when that death cross happened. So this is the death cross. It's when that shorter term moving average crosses under the longer term moving average. That's a very bearish sign. That's why it's called the death cross, right? And we've seen the market hit all-time lows, for the year there after that cross. So what's happening is that 200 is finally making its way down. And you can see that a lot of the price action is right here. I mean, we basically closed yesterday where we were trading. This is on the SPY, where we were trading all the way back in May, in June. So for the past, 7-8 months, we're still at the same spot we were at. But things have started to consolidate a little tighter. You can see here by these trend lines. It's consolidating tighter, which is bringing down this 200 moving average. It's bringing up the 50 because we're in an uptrend since October, right? We're still in an uptrend. The trend hasn't broken yet. So if the 50 finally gets that crossover of the 200, that's going to start to look bullish. So that may happen at some point in the next month or so, depending on the price action. I mean, if we just completely tank, that's going to start to flatten this out a little bit, which may extend the amount of time it takes to then cross back over. I would have to look it up, actually. I'm pretty curious. Maybe somebody that's listening or watching this live stream can tell me how long does a death cross usually last in the market? That's something that I would want to Google. I feel like I remembered something about 180 days or 270 days, the average until that 50 gets back over. I could be totally wrong, but that's something that I'm going to Google after this live stream, unless somebody has that information for me. Because that would be, you can see here, very wide from the 50 to the 200. It's now getting closer, which is looking to me like the market is going to want to find a bottom pretty soon, if it hasn't already. Or if we do retest that area, I feel like there's going to be a lot of buying down there. So we'll just have to see how earnings season continues to come out and what companies say, recession, etc., Fed, higher, longer, these kind of things that are already basically in the market. The only thing that's not in the market right now is the bond market is not believing anything. The bond yields are far, far too low, especially on that 2-year, for where the Fed is saying they want their terminal rate. So what the bond market is saying is that the Fed is making a mistake, and they're predicting that the Fed is going to have to pivot really quick. Now, the only reason for that would be a massive recession that the bond market is sort of telling us might happen, because that's the only thing that I would say the Fed would have to do that. And that wouldn't be good either for the market. So just something to be aware of. All right, so this is the SPY daily chart, point of control, rejection here, under all the indicators right now. But we're still in an uptrend from October, so keep that in mind. If we do pull on back, maybe we, maybe price continues up. This downtrend line is eventually going to have to break. It might break soon. It might break in a year from now. It's going to break. So when that breaks, that's going to be nice to see. It's been over a year of this downtrend line that is very well respected on the SPY. Looking at the Qs, very telegraphed rejection at the point of control. 282.65 is the point of control right now. You can see by this massive volume ledge, and it doesn't stop there. You have the downtrend line, you have the 200 moving average. That's also in this overhead, really big supply. All right. I am not very bullish right now on the QQQ. I can't be. There's just way too much resistance above it. So we started to see that pullback. Now with Netflix, they had okay earnings report anyway. The earnings per share missed. That's not good. Margins squeezed, not good. They added a lot of subscribers, but they told us don't focus on that. So if we're not supposed to focus on that, and that's the only reason why the stock was up so much, can we expect Netflix to open up and fade? Maybe. Where's Netflix now? Do I have it on here? Well, we'll take a look at it. Netflix. Okay, so this is ideal. This is ideal. I would be looking for this. You can see where we sold off right before the earnings. So you can say we were about at the 320 level. If this 338 to 340, this is a spot right here. I would be really watching the price action. I would be watching the price action here. This could be a decent fade. I just don't know. You have to wait. Wait for confirmation. Don't just jump into puts right off the bat. But this is something I'm going to be looking at here. Netflix off the open. And we have 7 minutes to the bell, 6 minutes to the bell. GNS still moving. See what else. What else? All right. Moderna. Nice. So I got into my puts right here. At about 190.68 is where I pulled the trigger on that. So we're currently going to be gapping up almost $2 a share on my call. That can be a pretty nice win here. Now, what I'm going to look at on mRNA is where would I want to get out of this? Where would I want to get out of this? And what I can see on mRNA, if we look at the daily chart, what this tends to do is it tends to trade in a range, breaks a range, trades in a new range, breaks down, trades in a new range, breaks out of it. And the reason why I got in is this area right here. So this has been resistance, right? A lot of resistance. And then it was support, right? resistance, expecting this to be support again, and maybe give at least a little bit of a bounce up. And that's why I got into puts there as close to this area that I would think would be support. It may not. It may break under 188. And if it does that, I'm going to be looking to get out. So depending on how this opens up, I'm either going to take profit pretty quickly, because I think I only have 8 days or so on the contract, or I'm going to be cutting it if it breaks under 188. So we'll see what happens. 4 minutes to the bell. I hope that you guys have a great day. Now, Fridays for me is sometimes, most of the time, not a great day. I don't know for whatever reason, but looking back at my trading, at my metrics, Friday is not usually a good day. So what I'm going to be looking for today is to take my profit on Moderna, if I get that, who knows? And then just really being very careful, because I already know historically, for whatever reason, Friday is a choppy day for me. All right. And I suggest that you guys out there listening, figure out what your good times a day to trade, good days to trade. If you see that you're not doing well during a certain time of the day, also don't trade. If you have a bad trading day during the week, and it's been like that for months and months and months, that's why you have to keep track of your trades, review your trades. It's very important. And if you do have a day like that, like I do on Fridays, it's best to really, honestly, not even trade at all. Really is. So that's it, guys. Hit the thumbs up for the video. I'll see you back on the next one. Take care, guys.